Welcome to the Talkin Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. We suffered in silence. Now we recover out loud.
Good evening. Welcome to the Channel 4 6 o'clock news at 9. I'm your anchor, Jimmy Crackhorn, and I don't care.
I do care.
No, I do care. Coming to you live from the St. Louis du Quebec Waffle House and Trading Post. There you go. Today's top story, a death row prisoner who chose a cigarette over his last meal was refused as the warden cited it was a bad health risk. He was electrocuted just a few moments later. Good evening, Talkin Trashers! We have a very special we got two guests in one tonight. We have Melanie and Rebekah from Prairie Sky Recovery. It's going to be just a great time. We got Bradley on the road. Will is somewhere cutting grass. And now to a man, if being sexy was a crime, he'd be in jail for tax evasion. Jimmy Snyder.
Tax evasion. I haven't done taxes in years. Is that bad? All right, welcome to episode 217.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hi, Jenny Mansfield and Shauna Andrews. Hello. What's going on with us? We got the show cut on Sunday. They just stopped. They're just like, nope. FIFA's like, nope, we're taking you down. And they took us down, and we're okay. It's okay. We're gonna make it. We around here we try to be methodical about things. We show up Sundays and Wednesdays at 9 o'clock and do the best we can. And we appreciate everybody's support. That's what's making this thing work. Hey, Larry. We're gonna hear from Larry in a minute here. Actually, we'll hear from Larry right now. This is from episode 212. When we had our guy on. If there was
anything I could say, and I've watched you guys for a long time, is you guys are starting to change the face of recovery. You're starting to show people that it's enjoyable, that it's fun, but it's also, you're extremely informative. You guys are changing the attitude of people towards recovery and addiction. You are
There you go. So, I mean, there's that. We paid him quite a bit to do that.
We had to take the bottles in, I believe.
Right? I know. Yeah. Look, Jimmy, I got this. Look at this.
That's my go-to.
All right, let's read our preamble, and then we're going to go.
Recover out loud.
This is our humble broadcast, where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We don't do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the word that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show, as living examples, that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That's the 9th step promise. It's our creed we abide by here on Talkin Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Please join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
This is where we go around and meet the team of Talking Trash. And if you're doing the intro and watching Brad, he looks like that. What an idiot. Look at this guy. You gotta love Bradley. Yeah. Quick turnaround.
You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun.
You do. I know. There's my boys. Guys, how are you doing?
Doing great, buddy. Doing really good. Just working on the road here, doing a little bit of driving, but didn't want to miss my meeting. I had to make sure I was here for Talking Trash.
There he is.
That's right. I see everybody backstage, and the things I see when they're not on camera is pretty ridiculous. Like,
okay, I'm just making sure I got pants on. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Not last night. Yeah,
I did a couple shows with no pants. You know what I just realized, Bradley?
I was doing some heavy dancing.
Oh, you look sweaty. You look like you need to be aired out.
Arrested.
You know what I mean?
It's sunny on this side.
That's good. Brad, I just realized I've never even acknowledged your sister's maiden name, Nappin. Is it Nappin?
No, Knappin.
Knappin. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Like napkin.
But
Shauna
it
says,
smelled like
be
that.
safe, Brad.
I'll try
You're doing a
to.
podcast while driving 100 miles an hour.
Brad, the road's that way.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
that
all right,
way.
so we'll put you. What we'll do with you is we'll just I don't know. Yeah, that.
Hide
do
'em.
that. Yep. And we'll do this.
There we
And
go.
We'll do that. Whatever.
Mhm.
Jimmy, what's going on in your world? How's
Well,
things?
hey, 2 podcasts in 2 nights. I love it. It's great.
Right?
well,
We did a podcast. We don't.
We
usually,
had a blast. You know,
I'll tell you what. We can do that, Jimmy. Can't we do something like
We
that?
did. It was kind of off the cuff, and it was really different. Plus, I commented. You said the same thing. I hate the sound of my own voice.
Yeah, it's tough to listen to.
And we had some viewers that were actually commenting, and there was one point saying, "Hey, dude," I'm like, I don't accept compliments very well, and I think that's just my addictive personality. It's like, wait, no, why? Why? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
But now I just say thank you very much.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so good.
It's hard. It's hard to get compliments when you're a piece of shit for so long.
Well, it's hard to break that cycle. But
Well,
you just
Jimmy, you look really good tonight.
Jimmy
Did
does
you
look
see-
good tonight.
and hey, I was sporting that nice Canadian shirt last night. It was kind of
Yep.
spanky. Yeah.
We welcomed 3 new members to the team in Canada. There,
Woohoo!
Larry, Caden, who's
All right, Kane.
checking out right
Right
now,
on.
and then
boy.
Jennifer Napkin, Jenny Napkin.
Jenny Napkin.
I just realized that. If you want a jersey, they're $50. It's pretty cheap for a beautiful jersey. Turning in to see my little sister and the best niece ever. That's not us. That's them. That's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, they have friends. They have things
That's
going
awesome. That's awesome.
on. All right, let's read our daily
Flapjack.
Flapjack. So there's my find it. Why am I not prepared?
Daily Reflections is an AA-driven enterprise of some sort. It's not ours, but we like you long time. Let's read Daily Reflapjacks here on the Talkin' Trash Pod Flaps.
It says pod flaps. It's
We're
not-
going
it's
to AA hell. There you go.
Right?
Good job. I think we just insulted AA. Good job.
That was
All
hilarious.
kids. Okay, so for all the people we didn't offend, the Daily Reflapjack for June the 24th, a spiritual kindergarten.
not-
We are only operating a spiritual kindergarten in which people are enabled to get over drinking and find grace to go on living to better effect. As Billy sees it, page 95. When I came to AA, I was run down by the bottle and wanted to lose the obsession to drink. But I really didn't know how to do that. I decided to stick around long enough to find out from the ones who went there before me. All of a sudden, I was thinking about God. I was told to get a higher power, and I had no idea what one looked like. I found out there are many higher powers. I was told to find God. As I understand him or her, that there is no doctrine in the Godhead of AA. I found what worked for me, and then asked that power to restore me from sanity. The obsession to drink was removed, and one day at a time, my life went on. Oh shit! And I learned how to live. I dropped my phone. And how to live. Yeah, I fell out of my spiritual baby carriage.
Get her together, there,
guys. It happened again. I was pulling my wire. Sorry, the second time. And I learned how to live sober. So there you go.
Sober. It is Men's Health Month, and the reason it's Men's Health Month, according to ChatGPT, is that mental health is on the rise. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's just more acceptable. But yeah, we're men and we hurt too. We're big babies, is what we are. But it takes people out. We need to identify the problems. We've been treating the symptoms for so long. Now we can treat the problems. We are a dual nations podcast. Actually, it's mostly in Canada. It's just the show originates here. Everything else is in Saskatchewan, where Prairie Sky Recovery Centre is. Prairie Sky Recovery Centre. They're going through a lot up there, and you guys experienced 1.0. There's a 2.0 going on right now, and Melanie and Rebekah will tell us all about that. But I knew it. I knew it was going to get to that. Way back when we started this a couple years ago, when we talked about Prairie Sky, and you told me about them, Jimmy, and I was always like, that's going to turn male soon. I mean, it's the only way it can go. I mean, and that's not to say it's not for women. That just means the women need to go find a women place. It segregates the men and the women, and that just gives it's just better care all around. So I'm glad they did that. It's great.
I think it was a great decision. Of course, I'm not management, but it just makes sense. Of course, men being like dogs. You got to be in a clean arena, right, where you're not being distracted. And when I was there, it was still co-ed. I was not distracted because I'm an old fool, but I can see why it can occur. And the Prairie Sky is not immune. It's everywhere, right? So I think that seems to be the trend. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, what a disaster! If I went to Prairie Sky 5 years ago, holy shit, it would be bad. So
3 wives later.
But I get it. Recovery really early recovery needs to be men with the men, women with the women, and the programs need to be tailored for that gender or whatever they identify as or whatever. So I think it's great that they've evolved, and but what they've done up until now is incredible. They have changed so many fucking lives. It's unbelievable. You can't make that shit up, and it's great. Shauna Andrews, Caden's, so he had to get 69.
Yeah, boys will be boys.
I know it. But yes, we got a Caden 69 jersey. You're welcome. So we have
NHL, right?
We have right. I know. There is no 69 in the NHL.
That's right.
So you're not Melanie Brown, you dummy. Rebekah Dunford and Melanie Brown. So Rebekah Dunford is Melanie's daughter. Obviously she got married, different last name. I made so many graphics that said Rebekah Brown. I had to change them. I was not happy, Jimmy. It was me.
It's okay. You're forgiven.
So we're gonna get to meet these two beautiful ladies in just a moment. And it's they care about what they're doing. And when they were backstage, I asked them one question, just point blank. I'm like, you guys care about what you're doing, don't you? And they were unanimously, yep, we do. And it's just awesome because people are dying left and right. I just lost another friend a couple days ago in New Jersey, and it sucks. And people are dying, and this shit is the urgency is unbelievable these days. So we're gonna get
sorry, Tim.
No, go ahead.
But what I was just gonna say, bringing up Melanie and Rebekah, we also said backstage too, a beautiful thing, the family them guys have, so their mother created this and started this PSR, and everybody in the family seems to be part of this program and making it work. So it shows how much they are committed and shows how much they all care about what they're actually doing. That's just amazing to me.
But it all started with Ardyth. Ardyth
Right.
created Prairie
Yes.
Sky in 2008.
The mom, yeah.
Yep, and she, like, obviously her culture, the way she approaches addiction and recovery, that's been passed down. Now she's not here anymore. She passed in 2023, but her legacy lives on. And like honestly, she's my inspiration. When I'm dead, I want my legacy to live on. I want people to be able to Google Tim Snyder and not see a police record. They see a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, so like, it's just, we're all striving to be better people, and it's getting harder, you know, as we get along here in society. We're so connected and we're so disconnected. But whatever. Anyway, Jimmy, our upcoming guest, who we got coming on here?
All right. So we've had
Whoops.
Jenny, we've got Melanie and Rebekah tonight. On Sunday, we have Elizabeth McKeon, PMHHP. It's like reading an optometrist chart.
Primary mental health nurse practitioner.
Yeah, easy for you to say. July, Canada Day, we have Jeff Hartling. On the 5th, we have Nick Carr. On the 8th, we have Tanya Badiveau from Nova Scotia. On the 12th, we have Anthony Cooper. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually a really cool guy. Coco. Yeah, okay. That'll work. Yeah, nice guy.
Making sure the horns still working. It's there are openings. We have all of July and August open. So if you want to be on Talkin' Trash, email Jimmy, jim@trash-podcast.com.
Or I'll just hunt you down on Facebook and one of the sober pages. That's what I've been doing.
That's good too.
Yeah,
good
it works.
Stuff.
Yep.
Check out Rock Bottom Recovery, or Revival rather. That's Bethany and Lenore and Tammy. Who else do we have here? All right, let's do our rehabs real quick. Just say hi to our people out there. We have people that work in a treatment center coming on tonight, and we are going to say hi to our treatment centers who are watching tonight. There's like 50 guys in a room sitting in front of a TV, and 3 of them are watching, and that's fantastic. Jimmy, go ahead there.
All right. Our recovery centers watching today are the Haven Recovery, Serenity Treatment Centers, Discovery Recovery, New Hope Rehab, Sunrise Detox, Lakewood Oxford House, Surfside Sober Living, Hang 10, Paradise Sands Recovery Center, Hope and Healing Clinic, Restored Recovery, The Haven Detox, Maryville Rehabilitation, Prairie Sky Recovery Centre, and Victory Homes. Oh, yeah.
Maryville Rehabilitation.
Welcome to the program.
You guys in Maryville, hats off to you. I know what you're going through. And you know what? God bless you. It's a tough one. But it changes people's lives there in Maryville. So we, what are we up to these days, Jimmy? That was fun last night. We
had a blast. It was like off the cuff, and we didn't really have a structure, but we made it work, you know. And it was weird because it was like watching a movie. It was like you called it a rerun, and that's what it was. But we wanted to pay Jen just a great job, and we unfortunately, due to our I'm going to say globally or as a team, we messed up and we paid the price. But you know what? We owed it to Jen and our viewers. So thank you for sticking it out for the people that did watch and comment, and hopefully we don't mention any soccer tonight, but that's okay. Pickleball. What's the score in the pickleball game?
It's up there. They cut her off at 12 minutes, and we lost 150 people who were watching the show. So we went on last night. I really wanted to test and see if we were allowed back on Facebook. We came back on last night, and it's actually pretty easy to watch the previous show together as a team. Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of stuff. So we'll see what we can do, stuff like that. Talking Trash channel, and that's really it for us. We're busy, and we have a lot of people that are early in recovery, hanging on, talking to us, and giving us the opportunity to impact their recovery and vice versa. And it's really nice, isn't it, Jimmy? Like, we have people that are in crisis. We go through that. But there's a lot of people who are just coming in every week and contributing to the show. And it's just been fantastic.
In the last couple of months, it's just been superstar after superstar after superstar. And it's just been fantastic. And the stuff that I'm learning, my attitude towards recovery, now that may sound weird, has kind of changed because I realize now I just didn't have a problem with alcohol. And that was just a small symptom of my mental health,
Right.
untreated PSD and all that kind of crap, and just being an asshole. But it took me going to treatment. Thank you, PSI. You saved my life. Big shout out. And just, but that's where the seed was planted. And but having Larry back and giving us that big shout out, it's the face of recovery has changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, because it's not just, okay, do this or you will be dead, go end up in a mental institution or prison. We got other things to deal with, not just your addiction. We have other things we got lots of pots on the stove right now, right?
Jimmy, I was thinking about what one of my earliest recovery situations where I like had to get better. It was a crisis, 2004, whatever. And I was, few days earlier, I am addicted to heroin in Trenton, New Jersey, sniffing heroin like crazy. It's heroin back then, and it all came to a head. Family jumped in, everybody. 3 days after that, I am in full blown withdrawal, putting up siding in 2-degree weather with my fucking idiot brother-in-law, dude. Like that's and like we never treated we treated my problem so wrong so many times. It wasn't their fault. It was just nobody knew how to handle it. And now these days we do know how to handle these things. We have our little tricks. We have our little things. Man, I can tell you how not to handle a family member. That's for sure. And it's nobody's fault. But man, Jimmy, I've never really talked about that shit.
As Will would say, the lessons learned, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And just, I look back 1,661 days ago when I first stumbled through the doors at Prairie Sky. It was a totally different environment. It was a brand new arena, but I was in recovery or had been in the program of AA. And I had all this stuff that was thrown at me to do this or else. And just a caring approach. Like it's just not a 9 to 5. It is a family that cares about the individual, not the collective. They take everybody and they not coddle. They plant the seed, clear out the weeds, and set you on a great path. And I cannot thank them enough.
Yeah, I can't either. And they're a pretty big reason why this show exists. You're alive, all these people. We broadcast it from there. I throw their logo up all over the place. Not that they send us any money, but we make it seem like they, support things. Bradley, I'm going to put your day count in. You have, I can't. Brad's got 1232 days. Way to go, Brad. 1, 2, 3, 2 days. I was asked by one of our sober livings to show our day counts so they can just see. I don't know. Whatever. But if it helps somebody else, I'm all for it. So, all right, let's get our friends in here. Here's our intro. This is all.
Open wide for some soccer! It's all here. Fast kicking, low scoring, and ties. You bet.
That's all I got. But it's a World Cup, and I thought we'd bring you in with a little fanfare. Melanie and Rebekah, hello, welcome to the program. How are you guys doing?
We're excited. Yeah.
You look great. Melanie, you're Rebekah's daughter. Rebekah is the she runs Prairie Sky for the most part. She is the it's right here. She's the chief administrative officer, and she's a registered social worker. And just as Ardyth passed down to Melanie, and she's doing the same. And it's just a family thing. And these kind of things, they kind of catch fire, and everybody believes in what's going on. I think we can start with Melanie. Melanie, welcome to the program. What is your role at Prairie Sky?
So my role currently is the chief administrative officer. So that's a lot of administration, a lot of that kind of stuff. But part of my job, or the majority of my job, is to oversee the client care. So I meet with clients and make sure that their stay is going smoothly. I intercede with any crisis. I'm kind of the go-to person if there's a crisis on hand. I do some social work. I do some counseling. I facilitate from time to time. So I just kind of, and you know what, we're a family-run business, so you can You can catch us doing just about any job at any point in the
I'm
day.
sure.
It
A lot
needs
of
to be
hats.
done. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of riffraff up there, Melanie? Like, is there like when it happens? Like, what is it? There a lot of it, or what? What's up that place?
A lot of riffraff. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, people. Do you have behavioral contracts? Do you put people on contract for throwing stuff?
I mean, not necessarily for throwing stuff, but occasionally we have to sit down and be a little more formal from time to time. Yeah.
Because we're dealing with addicts, right? And like that's what makes it complicated. But once you pull the addict out of the environment, you can then work on what's going on inside. Melanie, so your daughter, so she's kind of following in your footsteps. What I love about you guys is that you really believe in what you're doing. And if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and your entire outlook is different. So I want to kind of shift over to Rebekah. Rebekah, what is your role there at the Prairie Sky Recovery Center?
Hi, I'm the client care coordinator. So my job is a lot of intakes. I'm trying to get people into the building smoothly, completing their intakes, doing assessments, making sure they have a smooth exit as well. So that's relapse prevention. I'm facilitating twice a week. And I also report assessments back to employers.
Gotcha. Just give me a minute. I always have to do the cameras on the fly because that's how this works. So just give me a minute. I'll fix it. So Jimmy, when you first met Melanie here, what was your impression?
Well, first of all, I was okay. If I would have walked in the doors now and having Rebekah as the person that would admit, they would have kicked me out the door. I was hammered. I had drank 66, and they mentioned about that the behavioral contract, and I believe it was like 4 strikes. I got called into the office 4 times for being an asshole.
For what, Jimmy? Why?
I can't remember. Mel, do you remember, Mel?
They don't remember.
They do, huh? Yeah. God,
Jimmy, what did Jimmy get up to up there? What did he do?
I can't remember.
All right, we'll talk about that after.
We'll talk about that after.
I want to know.
No, I didn't do anything.
Jimmy talks about a hot tub. Is there really a hot tub involved?
There's a pool. We have a pool.
Okay.
Yeah, not a hot tub.
All right, so just
in the basement, there's a hot tub.
The jacuzzi tub in the we do. Yeah, we have a big tub downstairs.
I forgot about the jacuzzi tub. All right, wow, everything's got the cameras fixed. All right, so like we've all been to treatment. I've worked in treatment. We all think we have the answers, and we try to humble ourselves when we do the show and not be such know-it-alls. But it's hard when you're so smart and so enlightened like we are. Jennifer says, "Hey, Melanie and Rebekah, we do comments. We're not really sure how we're handling these, so I'm just I stop the show and read everybody's comments. You need to switch seats. Yes, Jacqueline, that's very intuitive of you because of this. You guys are on the wrong. Jacqueline Hoffman saw that you guys are not.
Yeah, because spot. Yeah,
you don't have to switch seats. It's just a joke, but it's funny that she saw that. Very, very funny. First thought I had. Bethany says, I'm late due to storms. The storms out there. We're going to lose people, Jimmy.
Okay.
Angie, Illinois. And we are. Thank you. Thundering, whatever. Okay. I love you guys. So, Melanie and Rebekah, but you can flip that around like Jacqueline said. We had Jacqueline Hoffman on too back in Thanksgiving. She was great. We broadcasted live at PSR for 190, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. That was phenomenal. We got so much feedback from that. I actually, the boys don't even know. I sent somebody to PSR. It's a whole thing. I didn't tell anybody, and I can't say their name obviously, but somebody I know I got to you guys, and you guys saved their life too. So like Bethany Bazler. So like you guys are like really doing stuff. Like what is it that separates PSR from like the corporate rehabs?
Oh, it's crazy to think that we've changed all these lives because honestly, we're doing what we were raised to do. We don't necessarily feel like we're doing anything special or anything crazy, but we're just showing up, right? Yeah. We're showing up as people, and we're showing up as people in recovery, reaching out to other people in recovery.
Right.
So it's great that we have education, and it's great that we have all these formal designations and letters behind our names, but none of that actually matters once the client's in the door, right?
Yeah.
None of that matters anymore. And so I think what we try to do is we try to be relatable. We're not trying to power over. We're not trying to say, hey, we know better than you, so you have to listen to us and do what we say. I always tell the clients, like, I'm just a mile up the road from you. I've made it a mile up the road, and I can see the hurdles, and I know where the puddles are, and I'm just trying to report back on how we're going to get there, right? So, yeah.
I gotta say, like, so to be doing what you guys do and changing lives and humble, like, you're just like, oh, we're just showing up. Sometimes if we're doing what we're built to do, just showing up is all you have to do. As addicts, we overcomplicate fucking everything. Just pumping the brakes and just breathing and taking it in and being in the moment is something that we struggle with fiercely as addicts. We never live in the moment. We're always thinking about where we're going or where we've been, and we miss what we're doing right in front of us. There's something wrong. If we find ourselves shooting heroin in Philadelphia, something is wrong. The problem isn't the heroin. The problem is, why the fuck is Tim Snyder in Philly letting Carlos shoot him in the neck with heroin? Like, that's the problem. So, but I
was just gonna say, I love how Mel said that too, and about just showing up. Like, so for me, when I went to treatment center, obviously I went to PSR. When I went there, I had no idea what to expect, and I've said this before. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna go in there and everybody's in like a doctor uniform and wearing, like, I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect. But what kept me there on my feet is everybody was just themselves, and everybody was just, when I say normal, we're all not normal, but it was normal to me. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody was like down to earth. Everybody was caring. Nobody treated you like shit. Pardon my French. It was just, you were just a regular human being who needed some help. And that's what made it easy for me at Prairie Sky, because it made it, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's how I felt going through those doors. Because everybody was just like, it was just another day, you know, of living in recovery and trying to help everybody else. That's the impression and feeling that I got when I walked through them doors. So I'm glad Mel said that, because that's how I felt for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's just to like, I just described my kind of addiction where I was. I went to a rehab from there, and I was treated like an asshole, like really bad, like a piece of shit. And like, that's just because the corporate of that rehab, that's how it was. The shit rolled downhill. So like, I went to a few rehabs. I went to nice ones. I went to shitty ones. I went to a state-run one, and I finally went to a run that was kind of like PSR, a little different, but like people cared. My counselor cared. Like, I'm like, he's actually listening to me. And I remember sitting with my counselor thinking, this is the first time anybody's ever listened to my dumbass ramble on. And I don't know, it was there. I took it, and my life got changed. Very similar to you guys. It's just a family kind of thing. I want to kind of defer to Melanie's expertise here. You guys just went through a change. You went from co-ed to a male-only facility. And like, people hear that, but that doesn't mean it's not for the women. That means that the women are going to get specialized help, and the men are as well. What was that like? How did that come about?
Well, at least once a year, Jacqueline and I sit down and we look at what we're doing, and we kind of try to assess, like, are we doing our best at everything? How can we do what we're doing better? What does the feedback from all the clients tell us? What does it look like when people go out from us? How are they recovering? How are they holding on? So we look at all of that, and overwhelmingly, we were able to see that the psychological safety of the clients is our number one priority. And we were able to see that was kind of being challenged when it was a mixed, like when it was a co-ed facility. Yeah. So there's a couple reasons. I mean, there's you know, we're trying to protect vulnerable people, both men and women, who sometimes have distraction in treatment.
Of course.
Or maybe they're just not comfortable to open up in a co-ed setting, right?
Yeah. I mean, in AA, they say men with the men, women with the women. I had a woman sponsor. It didn't work out great. But like, when I first went to treatment, it was it was one of those corporate facilities where nobody really cared. And I experienced going through the recidivism, the mill. Go to a sober house, fail, come back in. It was just this cycle that wasn't working. But what saved my life is people like Melanie and Rebekah, people who cared, who showed up on a Saturday to figure out what the hell's going on with Timmy. Why is he freaking out all of a sudden? A lot comes along with entering treatment. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of anger and fear, and it's everywhere. And like, you can quickly turn somebody off, while you're trying to establish like a rapport with them. And I that's got to be a tough thing to navigate with people. I mean, when you get somebody in on day one versus week 5, what is the biggest challenge when you first get somebody in the building?
I think, people are so beaten down and they don't have any love for themselves, right? And it's something that my mom was really huge about pounding into us, is that, we put those principles before those personalities. I think I was saying that statement, when I was 10 years old. It's principles before personalities. So just meeting people with that basic level of respect and extending them that feeling of love. We say we're going to love you until you can love yourself.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
That kind of mentality saves people's lives. But the whole paradigm, everything's changing. Recovery is changing. Everything is changing, and thank God, because it needs to change. It's not working. Harm reduction, all this stuff. It is just, we're not fixing the problem. We're fixing the shit that's happening from us being assholes. So like, to have clarity, like I experienced the good, the bad, the ugly, all through rehabs, and to see what you guys are doing is incredible. I'm going to roll through some slides. I'm going to let Rebekah talk a little bit about where she sees herself in the next 5 years in Prairie Sky.
Well,
You're good.
I would like to continue some of my education. I'd like to be able to go back to school, and I'd like to be able to come back and just continue to be mentored under, people like Melanie, my mom, my aunt, some of our wonderful counselors. I'd like to continue being mentored, and I'd like to eventually be able to like fill in the slot for my mom or my aunt so that they can eventually retire. That's more than 5 years, but that is eventually like where I would like to see myself going.
Well, I gotta say, you can take a sort of peace in the fact that like, this is what I'm doing. This is my goal. I'm gonna help people. I'm gonna save people's lives. I know about this. We feel the same way in what we're doing. We just do it differently. But to run into people who are, you go through the motions. People come in, they talk shit. It's like, whatever. And then you get people that are real, and we just connect instantly. Like, we're all on this, fighting the same battle. You just kind of have to, navigate through things. As I throw some slides up of Prairie Sky Recovery, most of our people know about Prairie PSR. It's a beautiful building. The building itself comes with this aura of recovery, of love. There's something going on there. It's an old building, but it's like gorgeous. It's just this old.
It is.
I'll let you guys tell us what it is. It's like an old monastery or something, right? Or no?
It was a Catholic boarding school that was created for the German community of Leipzig.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a very important part of that community. They were having trouble getting their kids to school. I think in the winters, Jacqueline's the perfect person to talk about the building, but it was a place where people went to learn, and they were quite happy to be there. I've spoken to quite a few people over the years who have come back and said it was some of the happiest time of their life, and they've been able to see old pictures and tell us stories about the building. So it was definitely used for education, and I think that was the idea they had for it going forward. So we're also using it for a place of education, and I think that's why it works.
Right. Yeah. You just had like you get a lot. I know you get a lot of attention too, even though you're like a small kind of place. But like the CBC was just in there. They just did
Mhm.
a story on you guys the other day. I'm kind of following from here in Georgia. Like, holy shit, what they're doing stuff up there. It's very cool. It's like it's a family run place, and like
Yeah.
so it's got to be difficult. Like I know treatment, you getting somebody in, paying for treatment, everything costs money. I get it, but like you guys don't do anything medical, right? Or are you
No.
gonna? So
Yeah.
is that in the works, or is that just something off to the side for now
I
or
think
forever?
I think that's something that requires a lot of specialization. You need to have access to the right doctors and nurses,
Yeah.
which there seems to be a shortage of in our
There
province
is.
currently.
Yes.
So we've
much.
decided just to kind of stay away from the medical end of things and just really focus and do a good job of the treatment part and leave the medical part to the medical professionals.
Yeah, good on you. I mean, there's two types of rehabs. One that does medicine and one that doesn't, basically.
Yeah.
So like it's I'd love to see me personally. I'd love to see that merge, that
Yeah.
home style cooking plus the medical side of it. Because like I know for me to have addressed my mental health and stand in a place where I've addressed it and gotten better, and I can see the difference. It's I had mental health issues that were just not addressed, and thank God that I went to a place and let my therapist therapize me, and not the other way around. And I got help, and it takes a while to figure out mental health stuff and
Yeah.
medications and regimens, and that would be a whole other, like it wouldn't even be, I get it, and so do you guys offer like what if somebody has a headache? Do you have Tylenol? Is
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
okay,
they have access to over-the-counter medications. We also support people coming in on different recovery medications. So methadone, Suboxone, those types of medications, we definitely allow those and support that. So yeah, they just have to be, our clients just have to be medically stable, because we're very rurally located. So that's a big risk
yeah.
factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to like work it out. Like yeah, wow, that's because like I know down here, if you're on Suboxone methadone, you are
Yeah.
instantly classified as high risk, like whatever.
Yeah.
So like down here, like if you go in, like we've had people that relapse that are on maintenance and they
Yeah.
find themselves back in rehab, back on their maintenance, trying to start that over again.
Yeah.
Stopgap measures, whatever. We all have our opinions and this, that, and the third, but like, it's got to be a difficult terrain to navigate for you guys, because like it all intertwines, right? It all kind of runs into each other. The mental health, the physical health.
Yeah, I don't really see a big difference, honestly, between somebody taking, a drug like methadone or them taking a drug like Prozac. Like
Agreed.
whatever they need is whatever they need,
Yeah.
and it's not for me to say what's right and wrong in somebody's recovery.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, because one of the things that we try really hard to do at Prairie Sky is to remove those barriers.
Mhm.
We don't want something that's helping somebody to be a barrier to them getting treatment. That makes no sense at all.
Makes
right?
no sense. Yep. There's so much, people don't want to be liable. Doctors don't want to be liable.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to tie their name to something that's going to bring them in. And there's a stigma that's being shaken off, and we're all experienced. I'm wearing a Batman shirt, Jimmy. I just
Yeah, I
realized
know.
I'm wearing. Why am I wearing this?
Obviously we are now Batman, so that's okay.
Wasn't
getting
paying
off topic.
wasn't paying attention. So
I got a quick question for the ladies. Like running a family business, and speaking from experience, it's not fun. Like, and plus the industry
Well,
that
yeah.
you're in, like I was like in the printing industry. My grandfather started, my dad bought it, I bought it, and there's a lot of tension. But you're also dealing with people's lives and
Yep.
their future, and there's also the family dynamics, and you just got to put that like I'm just trying to, maybe I'm trying to put words in your mouth, but you really got to govern yourself accordingly, as my lawyer always tells me. You just can't, it's like that's not part of why these people are here. They don't need to know our shit, and I'm sure it doesn't happen, but the family dynamics. I'm sure there must be some kind of not conflict, but be some days where you're just like, oh my Jesus Christ, but I gotta handle Bob because hey, he just shot up heroin, out of dirty puddle water 2 weeks ago. So we got to deal with him. We'll deal with our shit later, right? And you got to put your whole life on back burner, and that's tough. I'm assuming that's just I'm asking.
I really feel like we do obviously try to stay professional as a family,
yes,
and provide service. They're not there to counsel us, and we get that.
You do a good job of that.
Yeah,
having them see a mother-daughter struggle, or having them see two sisters have to communicate, that gives us opportunity to role model some of those recovery behaviors that they need to see. So if we come in on a day and maybe Rebekah's not particularly happy with me, or I'm not particularly happy with her, we have to demonstrate for people, how are we going to communicate, and how are we going to get along? Yeah. And I think it's amazing. We're so lucky in that we seem to be happy to work together. There's not a lot of conflict between us as a family, and I think that's because we've put the work in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I asked the question, because I was there and I'm like, oh man, family business. I'm going to be just sitting there eating popcorn, watching this. Nothing. So professional, and all the focus was the clients. But it's because of what Ardyth taught you guys, and you're passing it on to your daughter. Like, it's just amazing. I wish more people could experience that. So, and I wasn't taking notes, but it was like, maybe I can, maybe get a fifth time to the office. But no, seriously, just the professionalism, and put client first. And it wasn't about, we got to do that. It's like, hey, we got an issue here, or this person needs a little more attention or whatever. But it wasn't. Nobody was a superstar, and nobody was left behind. It was the group collective, and that's what I still keep in contact. Like Ralph, I'm going to try to get him on the show, and people that I've met while I was there, I keep in contact with. And it just wasn't me sobering up. I started my life, and I started some new friendships, And I didn't think I would get that from sobering up.
Right.
Well, I want to read this real quick. Caden's mom, I think you guys had some kind of interaction with her, whatever. She's messaging, so I'm not doing anything wrong. But she said, the day I dropped Caden off was a lot of unknowns and emotions, but the second we pulled up, the warm, welcoming family atmosphere, feeling with greetings from not only staff but other clients, I think that was you guys, eased all our uncertainties. Thank you, ladies and PSR, for taking my boy in and accepting him into the PSR family. And Jimmy, all that you did for that situation. And Caden's a good dude. We had him on not long ago, and he's those of us that love this, and we don't love the addiction, we love the recovery part of it, and the role, the small role that we play. Those of us that love this get it. We've lost people, we're losing people, and we have lost. We have paid dearly for the things that we've done and the things that we've made people endure. And so for you guys to have this go to work positive, and you're like, you got it, it could easily get you down. Treatment got me down pretty hard. And Caden says, definitely saved my life. Yep. And you stay straight, kid, or we'll come get you.
I know where you live, buddy.
Right?
Yeah.
So way better sober living house than I did, I'll tell you. Holy, you actually had grass.
It's we love it. We love that shit, though. Like, we're seeing real recovery happen, and we're getting to experience it because we're being real. And, I don't know, I don't want to say for the first time in our life, but we're, being real about stuff, not being fake. There's no production here. This is all real. And I'm on, if you want to hear real, I'm on Suboxone. I'm on antidepressants, mood stabilizers. I'm fucking nuts. And I did some damage to my brain, right? So once I got things honed down right to the, I have to deal with the repercussions of the things I did. So we're all trying to heal. And this mental health part of it for me was huge. So we have a nurse that comes on once or twice a month. Oh, look, Will came to the show. Hi, Will. Welcome
I
to the
will.
program,
Welcome
buddy.
to the program. Hey, Willie!
Hey, Willie!
Better late than never.
Willie!
Oh, Brad, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Bye.
So it's just it's awesome to see. I'm
We
working.
love
I'm
you.
getting there, Will. So
I'm
this is
sorry.
Will. This is our resident. He's also from Georgia, and he is a I don't want to say a redneck, but he's like
No, he's not. He's the most grounded person I think I've ever met.
We
Come
all
on,
know
now.
Will.
Come on,
Thank you for trying to get on, Willie. Yeah, my man. So, Will, we have Melanie and Rebekah here from PSR. You're from Georgia. You don't know nothing about nothing. What is PSR to you?
PSR? Isn't that where?
Oh my God, Will.
Isn't that where
it's the rehab.
Yes, they went to rehab, right?
All the shit we've experienced through PSR.
It's been a long.
I know, buddy.
He's had a
I
long
throw
day.
I throw him right in
I threw him right under the bus.
Caden says one-on-one with Melanie definitely made the rough days so much easier, and seeing Rebekah's smile and happy vibes all the time just made it so easy to get through.
So those things right there, for example, what Caden and his mother said, that right there is, I shouldn't say all you need to hear, like that right there sums everything up at PSR. You know what I mean? So there's honestly there's a mom dropping a son off. You know, so we can only imagine what's going through the mother's head. You know, we can only imagine what's going through the addict's head. I know that feeling, but I couldn't imagine what the mother's feeling is. So the mom's dropping the son off. All of a sudden now, guaranteed scared shitless. All that's going, emotions running wild.
Yep.
She walks into an environment that's very, positivity. People are open arms. There's some caring emotion, like all that. So could you imagine? And that's something I don't know, but could you imagine being the mother to that, coming in and dropping your son off and having that feeling, walking back out the door after you're leaving your son for recovery? Like, so that right there speaks so loud, because it's like, wow, okay, she would have left there that day, I'm assuming, and I can only assume from what we just heard what you read. Like, she would have left there thinking, okay, he's in a great spot. He has a chance. Because I couldn't imagine on the other side of the addicts, because I don't know, like, how my wife felt. I do now because we talked about it. But so that powerful, like, 2 sentences that she said there means the world to me and to PSR, I would think, too. Because it shows so much right there. So I just want to emphasize on that, because that like them guys generally care, man. Like
they genuinely care. Yep. I can feel it. I'm 4,000 miles away.
I'm driving.
That's all right, buddy.
I'm sorry.
So, dude, they genuinely care, and like that is what is needed these days to get people their attention. Really, just a lot of people go to rehab 10 fucking times. They go in for an oil change, and they come in, and they go out, they go right back in, and 10 years ago, the system felt designed for that. I felt like I was sent to a sober house to relapse, to come back to do another 30 days. You guys do 5 weeks. Is there a method to that? Or
we do
weeks?
6 weeks. Yeah, there is a bit of a method. We do the first 3 weeks that clients are with us. We do just strictly emotional health and wellness. So we're not even digging into the behavior. We're digging into the root cause, right? And so we spend that first 3 weeks trying to help people understand where they're at and understand why they're feeling what they're feeling, and sort of building them up. And then the second 3 weeks is spent in what we call addiction studies, which talks a lot about how your brain works, what's going on inside your brain. We identify that this is not a disease of willpower or people being bad or choosing poorly. We look at what's going on with your brain. And then we delve into the 12 steps. We do AA, NA, Wellbriety, 12 steps without God. So we try to hit it from every angle we can.
That's awesome. And it's like, I feel like down here in the States, like everybody's hands are tied. Like everybody's fighting a fight with one hand tied behind their back. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody wants to take liability. And it's just our continuum of care gets lost in the shuffle. And Will, what were you gonna say? Will? And he's gone. Bye, Will. And he's back. There he is. So that we tell everybody that you have to learn to advocate for your own personal health care and your recovery.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do it for you, and if you're an asshole to your therapist, they're not going to help you. And that's just how things are. And we need to treat addiction with kindness and medicine and whatever helps it. We need to do, because we are in a situation as a society where people are dying at will, and it's okay. I was reserved to die. I was pissed I didn't die. I was that was the end goal for me.
Mhm.
Recent Jacqueline says one of the comments I hear frequently from parents is that the night they dropped off their loved one, they have the best sleep of their lives because they had been stressed out for so long, and they finally felt like there was hope. This brings something up for me that rattles me. When we started the show, we were like episode 40. We had a woman call us from New Jersey who said, "My son just died from an overdose a few days ago. I feel relieved that I can sleep. Is that okay to feel relieved?" She's asking us if it's okay to feel relieved that her son is dead, and it rattled all of us. We were just like, "Holy shit, this is a real thing we're doing," and it kind of steered our rudder to there's a need for this. There's a need for parity and lightheartedness and information and education. There is a need for it today, and thank God that there's ways to do it. Thank God that God gave me gifts to be able to do this, and I'm able to give back. And it's just this big cycle. And Shauna says, I just lost mom to addiction and trying to navigate through with Caden. I am too grateful for the love, support, guidance I have received from you guys at Talkin' Trash, PSR, and Larry's chats. I have learned so much about addiction and recovery. Thank you. And yes, Brad, 100% eased my heart and mind, knowing he was accepting in such a loving and non-judgmental family, PSR. I've been listening to those stories since I started the podcast. It's just the same story over and over. It's I doubt you're out to make money at this. I hope you do. You probably don't.
No.
And most people that work in treatment don't do it for money. There's no money in treatment. There should be, but there may be. But like most people who work in treatment, they do it because they love people and they were affected themselves. Michelle Anderson, I had mom call today and asked me the difference between us and a funded facility. We're a family. That's the main thing. Yeah, I'm trying to get up here. PSR isn't a corporation. They're able to put personal touch to treatment. Corporations not so much interested in making people better. They want customers. PSR wants people to heal. And listen, if we figure out addiction, PSR goes out of business. If they figure out how to treat it, to fix addiction, they're out of business. It will never happen. We're addicts. We have this anchor with us that we have to carry for the rest of our lives, and how we do it depends on what our lives will look like. Sean also says 100% the 8-hour drive home and 6 weeks he was there. Her mind was at ease. I get it. We steal money, all that stuff, but we steal time from people, and we steal safety. They can't sit still. They can't feel, and we have to change this whole thing as a collective. As a podcast, as a recovery facility. Go ahead, Brad.
I even think, it just made me think of my wife. So I'm 3 years and 4 or 5 months or whatever I am now. So I work on the road a lot now. And there was a time I always worked on the road, and I knew it used to kill her what I was, wondering what I was doing. You know what I mean? Because I always thought I had everybody fooled. I never had pardon my French. I never had anybody fooled. Right. So now when I'm on the road working, I can hear it in her voice where it's just it's probably a breath of fresh air where it's oh no, Brad's on the road doing a podcast,
right.
Just, a whole different feeling of security of
yes.
It's just, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it's just a whole different thing. Recovery to me, man and ladies, it's the funnest thing that I've ever been involved in. And I never thought it could be this fun, because I'm still myself. I'm still Brad. I still goofy Brad, like to have fun and carry on, but I'm sober doing it. And I can, when I say that recover out loud stuff, I mean that, because I'm thankful every day that I got to go to treatment, that I got to meet the beautiful people at PSR, and that I'm sober and I'm still doing it, living one day at a time, working my recovery one day at a time to try to be a better person one day at a time. And if I wasn't doing that on a daily, on a daily practice, it wouldn't work for me. So I have to continue doing what I'm doing daily. And I actually like me now. You know, I definitely got some flaws, but you know what? I enjoy being sober. Recovery to me, man, is fun. And I am enjoying my life more now at 47 years old than I ever did in my 30 years of drug and alcohol use. So
I apologize for that.
That's okay. I'm just saying. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But I just want to say that redneck. I'm just thankful to be who I am today, and it wouldn't be. PSR is a giant part of that, and I love that we talk about the mental awareness stuff about it, because. And that doesn't even count for me as addicts or alcoholics or anybody, but everybody I think should learn that and figure out themselves, because I know I'm a drunk and I know I'm a drug addict and I'm okay with that. But once I figured out that I needed to work on my mental stability, that was huge. And once I learned to figure that out, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm a hell of a lot closer than I was. And I don't think I'll ever get there, but I'm definitely got my foot in the right direction. So, you know, I'm thankful every day that I'm going to swear. I'm glad that I did know that Brad was fucked up, and I'm figuring out a way to slowly work on that and make it better day by day. So mental awareness is like massive in our recovery process.
It's interesting, Melanie, like I am heavily medicated. Jimmy is not. Brad is not. Will
should be.
And, yeah, probably. But like we all have this different view, and like, you know, a lot of people aren't identifying with AA like they used to. People don't. You know, people are looking for other ways to recover, and you know, we're not here to push an agenda or like tell people how to do it. We'll tell people how we did it and how we did it wrong. But we, you know, it's just we're a collective of people trying to recover together. And you guys, you guys are the reason Talking Trash exists. You're the reason. You guys are the catalyst of so many things. And I tell the boys all the time, like, listen, you don't get points in this industry. We don't know that we kept Jimmy from putting a needle in his arm tonight or whatever it was, or Narcan, whatever it is. We don't know the impact we have. This is not it's not a fun business to be in, but it is a rewarding one, especially when you're touched by it. Melanie, so you are in recovery, right?
Yeah.
And Rebekah, you're not. You're just a daughter of. So what was it? Do you remember your mom when she had a problem? I don't know if I have the ages right or.
I was in elementary school, so I don't necessarily I never saw any active use. I never saw anything like horrible, traumatic in the home, but I definitely saw the effects on her, the fallout in our family. Those were
on you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like, you do this with a passion now, and like I don't know if I could do it. Like I love what I do because I'm an addict in recovery, and I figured something out, and I want other people to have what I have, and to not do the things I did. But you guys, like, holy shit, like, I don't know if I could do it. Like just.
I don't have a choice. Like, it's for my recovery.
Right.
You know, it's not something that I really think about. Oh, is this my job, or should I work here? Should I work at Starbucks? What should I be doing? Right. I mean, ideally, I have all kinds of other job ideas that I'd love to do, but But the thing of it is that, you know, I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. It's very influential to pass down to my daughter to display those behaviors. And of course, along with that struggle came a lot of substance use, a lot of process addictions, things that, you know, I have to be aware of on a day in and day out basis. Even now, 11 years into recovery, I have to. So if I don't show up at work and I don't check in with people and I don't hold myself accountable, then I'm probably not going to be fit for any job.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right. You have a beautiful daughter. How old are you, Rebekah?
I'm 23.
23. I have a 22-year-old daughter. Very similar. Terrifying, these kids today. Like I don't, but, you know,
tell me about it.
But it's awesome to see this, because there's a whole different story where mom affected daughter, daughter repeats mom's mistakes, and the cycle goes. That's arrested here, whether it be with Ardyth or with PSR or whatever. You guys have arrested that addiction, and you're turning it into something positive, and you're saving people's lives. And when we say that on the show, I almost feel stupid when we say it. Like, I'm not saving anybody's lives, but like, are we though? I mean, because nobody else is out there screaming at guys in rehab right now to figure it out. And you know, it's just. I think you guys are like-minded like us, right, Jimmy? I just get this feeling like
what blows me away, Tim, is Rebekah and the whole family, the chosen career. It's amazing what you're doing, but it has one of the worst successes. But you keep coming back, and you never give up. And people out there, especially people in treatment. These are the people. They're there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
And and their success ratio, because addiction sucks, and cutting, baffling, powerful, patient as hell. I've seen it so many times, but they don't get discouraged. You know, they're always there for the next client, and then you can come back. Like when Brad and I walked in, we both started bawling, because it was like going back home.
Yeah.
It really felt, and that's not bullshit. It was, sorry, Brad, because it was the place that I felt so much. Wow. I just felt, for the first time in my life, I felt I knew myself, and I had been hiding because I was crawling into that bottle for such a long time. And it took the caring people there. So just keep coming back, guys. That's all I can say, but I cannot thank you guys enough. So.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, Jimmy, because you're totally right. When me and you were in there, we almost grabbed each other's hand, for Christ's sake. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
we've had that later.
We did that when we were sleeping. We were sharing a room.
Big spoon.
But you're totally right. That feeling of when walking back into that door, like literally, I was like, wow, this is where it starts. Yeah, this is where it started.
That's what I said. It's like, we're home.
Right? Yeah. And literally, so that was what? How many months ago now? Let's ballpark. A few months.
4 months
episode
ago.
190.
Yeah. So there you go. 4 months ago. And so I would have been 3 years sober at that time. And walking into that door again, and I'm not just blowing smoke up PSR's ass because they're awesome, because they are. When I walked through that door, it was just like I was there all over again. Like everybody, like people that I knew, you know, like seeing Mel and seeing everybody. It was I can't even explain it. I get tears in my eyes thinking about it now, because that's where the journey started for me. And I've said this, I said that on that podcast, and I'll say it to the people that are out there in recovery right now. Walking through PS door to me was, you know, getting to the doorstep was one small step for Brad. Walking through those doors was one giant leap for my recovery, because once that happened and I was ready to make a turn for the better, it was all uphill from there. You're going to have your bad days. You're going to have your shit days. But what recovery's taught me during these bad times that I have, I can manage those. I can deal with those things that are happening because of my recovery. Because life's still life. But mentally and physically and spiritually, I'm stronger to be able to deal with the situation at hand.
Yeah. Yep. And it's just not our two guests tonight, or Jacqueline, or Larry. Like, it's the staff. Like Lucy, the cleaner. 3 days after I got there, she stopped me in the hallway and she goes, "You're starting to change." And this is coming from the cleaner, like the staff. It has this. Everybody has the same mindset, from the cook to the cleaner, to Super Dave, God rest his soul, to Ryan the cook. Everybody was just part of the family. And
I love that you said that. So Dave, every morning, hey, God bless his soul. Every morning he'd be like, "Hey Brad, I got a joke for you," and I won't get into some of the jokes we told.
Yeah, please don't.
But
We'll be
every
canceled.
morning he would take the time to talk to some, and I'll say it this way, like that's how I felt in my head at the time. Why would this person want to talk to this junkie that's in here? Right? You know what I mean? But that's not how he looked at it. You know what I mean? So there's the maintenance guy who was just happy to be part of what was going on at that building. You know what I mean? So he took the time to make me laugh and to have fun. So that goes to show that you're totally right, Jimmy. It's not even just the counselors, which it is as well, but it's everybody. Everybody, like it's
infectious. This kind of stuff is infectious.
It is.
It's insane. It's awesome.
It can't be manufactured either, because addicts we'll pick up on that shit instantly.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of addicts don't trust talking to non-addicts about addict stuff. And you know, I've had them all. I've had counselors in recovery, counselors who are just out of college and they're 22 years old. Like, you know, if you want to get clean, you'll shut up and start listening to people around you who are a little further ahead. They'll help you get to there, and somebody's gonna help them. It's just this thing that keeps going, but it can't be fake and it can't be manufactured, because we pick up on that shit instantly. We are the first people to, like, we'll go to rehab and complain about the cheesesteak or whatever. You know, we're shooting puddle water about 2 weeks earlier, but now we're all pissed off about. Everybody comes in at a different spot in life, and meeting people where they're at is got to be a challenge right off the bat, because you want to settle them in.
But I got a question. I got a question for Rebekah, actually, if that's okay.
Please.
So I got so obviously you're in the recovery field now, and that's awesome. And so you grew up and you've seen, I'll call it the powerhouse recovery family, because everybody's involved in it. It's awesome. So was there a time where you were unsure, maybe, that if you didn't know if you were going to get into this field, or did you just kind of grow up in that environment and it's like, this is what I want to do? I see how they're changing people's lives. What was the turning point, or when was that moment for you, Rebekah, if that's a valid question?
Yeah, well, like I grew up around it my whole life, so it wasn't anything strange or like out of character for me or my family. It was something that I kind of was really familiar with. But I never actually considered going into the field until about two and a half years ago, when I moved to Saskatchewan and I started working in housekeeping. And I immediately fell in love with the building. I fell in love with the clients. Well, I re-fell in love with the building, and I fell in love with the clients, and just everything about the building and the client care. So I moved my way up from housekeeping into admin, and then I got some certifications and some training, and I moved my way up into my current role, and I fell in love with it. But I can definitely say I was not, if you asked me 3 years ago what job I was going to have, I wouldn't have said this one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you feel intimidated at all? You're a cute young girl, and you're probably dealing with all kinds. Like, does it feel intimidating, and or are you in your element?
I definitely felt intimidated at the beginning. It's a big job. You're going like just about toe to toe with a lot of, like, frankly speaking, a lot of men that are a lot bigger than you, and you know. So I was definitely intimidated at the beginning. But once I kind of like leaned into the building, and I stopped being afraid of my own age. I stopped being afraid of my own shortcomings. I leaned into it, and I gained my confidence, and now it doesn't feel intimidating. It feels like any other day. I'm talking to people that I'm with every day. They're not scary or intimidating anymore.
Rebekah, you are qualified for this. You know what I mean?
That's the greatest answer I ever heard right there, because
honestly,
you're doing it for the cause, not for anything else. You know what I mean? So that's what I just heard it right there in your voice. You know, there's no need to be
right?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, that's the whole point of this recovery journey, in my eyes. if I'm not in it 100%, I'm probably going to fail, right?
Yes.
So I have to go all the way with this, because I sure as hell did when I was doing cocaine and drinking all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
I went 100% on that pretty easily, didn't I? Right?
Mhm.
So why can't I put just as much effort, or you know, I don't know. I take this recovery thing so goddamn serious, because it's changed my life, and not even just the life that I've changed for myself, the people around me, my family life, my friend life, the people who trust me more. Like, it's such a trickle effect on other factors in my life, by working on myself and my recovery. It's just, I'm saying this to the recovery centers. I'm saying this to everybody, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This is worth it. This journey sometimes may feel like it's hard, but I can tell you this: it is goddamn well worth it, and you are gonna love it and recover out loud, baby.
Oh yeah.
ROL. Brad, maybe we should recover a little quieter. I don't know. What do you think? No? Yeah.
Turn it down. Turn it down.
I only have one voice, and it's not an indoor voice.
No, it's not.
It is an indoor voice. We're allowed to we can filter whatever is doing. Just before I forget to do it, Jimmy, do you remember the football player Maradona?
Yeah.
He
here
was
we
like
go.
the best player in the world.
Here we
In
go.
1986 they would do cocaine breaks. I can't wrap my mind around this. They would do it live on TV. This dude
And we're
was
shut down.
This we're allowed to do. We're allowed
You
to
have to do coke to play soccer, but that's a different story. Well, and before we kind of go on, thinking of Ardyth, and I did spend some time with her, and Joy, oh my God, who recently passed as well. They were just the most humble people I have ever met. And they, without even telling me or saying, maybe you should try like bringing it down a bit and just kind of like just get in touch with yourself and find yourself, just talking to them. And I'm like, they always say, find some people that I want what they have. And God damn, I wanted what they had, you know?
Yep.
And I love them so much. So thank you for bringing them into my life as well.
Yep. Every addict has a nexus event where they're like, this is it. I'm changing my trajectory, and their whole life changes. And like you guys said, just showing up sometimes. We don't have to be all stars every night. We don't have to run a great podcast every night. I don't. But like we're all doing this together, and we're all responsible for what we're doing. There's a responsibility that comes with this. But you guys seem like you're chill, and you seem like you don't take any shit. And you
no, they don't.
And you know how to navigate that landscape, just because you're in recovery. Your mom is so like you just can't make this shit up. You can't manufacture some kind of. It's like lightning in a bottle up there, you guys. It's like is there one thing that stands out to and I'll ask each of you the same question. Is there a moment is there a nexus event in your job? Was there a time where you're like, I just saved that dude's life, whatever I'm not trying to, but like, was there a time for each of you where you it was like redefining that, yes, I'm doing what I should be doing?
Yeah, I in the beginning of my career, I did a lot of work in the inner city of Edmonton, and I had a number of instances over those years where I, was definitely part of a major change for somebody. And I think at PSR, we see drastic changes. We see drastic changes. People walking in, and it's like they're this empty shell, and there's no light in their eyes. There's no hope to be had, right? And one of the things my mom was good at was seeing the potential in people, and she didn't see what was in front of her. She saw what could be in front of her, right?
Yes.
And that's the lens that Rebekah and I try, and Jacqueline and everybody else tries to come at it with is, we're gonna see where this person could go, not where they're at right now. We're with them where they're at. We want to project them. And so it goes back to what they say in AA, like we're here to provide experience, strength, and hope, right?
Yep.
And so if we keep it simple like that and we don't overcomplicate the situation, then you get to see genuine change in people.
Yeah. Yep. We're addicts. We overcomplicate everything, and you know, to simplify things and to streamline things is why there's sayings. There's why all the acronyms. Like we have to, you know, we try to make it easier to remember so we can live by it. But like, you know, you get out of rehab down in the States, you go to rehab for 22 days or whatever. Your insurance kicks you out. You have no idea you're getting kicked out. You go into rehab. Your caseworker's like, oh shit, we got to find you a place. I've experienced that 5 fucking times. And you're going to some sober living where you need $500, or an addict in recovery, I need $500 to get in sober living. All these things are it's just not easy to navigate. And it took me several times of doing it the wrong way. And it sucked. And like, I would go to a sober house. I wouldn't have a license. I have no money. I have no charge of a job. I have guys around me that are going to relapse in 5 minutes. And the only thing I have right now is maybe IOP virtually and walking down to this fucking meeting that I hate everybody at. And we go to a meeting, but like that can deter people. Obviously, if you want it, you have to fight for it. But you know, it can be daunting. You know,
I would say too. You know, like what was pivotal for me in my career as a counselor was understanding that all behavior is communication. Like every behavior is somebody trying to tell you something. Right. So if you're acting out, if you're abusing substances, if you're off the rails, if you're not taking your meds, if you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're doing all these things, you know, people, I came to realize that I'm just an interpreter. Like I take that behavior, I take what that looks like, and I help them to find the words that they need to speak it out. Right. Right. But people are screaming out loud and they're asking for help every day. And we're just standing there missing it. Like we don't understand what they're saying to us. Right. So I think for me in my career, you know, I had to realize I'm just a translator. You know, I can help you to find the word that you're trying to say.
Help you to find.
I love that.
Right.
I love that.
Nailed it.
I'm an interpreter. I love that. That's a great way. Yeah. So there's another example of Mel. Just, you know, she's one of the people. You know what I mean? Where she's like, I'm just here to help. Like, you know, you don't hold it over somebody's head that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's where this type of treatment center works, because you're just making it healthy for everybody. It's not like anybody's better than anybody. We're just doing our thing. We're doing our thing, man.
I mean, we addicts. You think about an addict going into a treatment center, day 1, day 5, day 7. You're like. You're two different people. Like from the day that you walk through the door or stumble through the door or whatever, to a week later, get the fog out. That's two different people you're dealing with. Yeah. And like sometimes it's just like crisis damage control. Just hold on for dear life until we can get you stable. And getting people stable these days is hard to do, especially with the damage we are doing to ourselves with the drugs that we're doing. When I was running around Philly, we were doing fentanyl. We were doing it was a tranquilizer. Everybody wanted the tranquilizer fentanyl. Wherever people were dying, that's where you wanted to go get your drugs. It was insanity. And we would go. That's how we would do it. And we were doing trank and heroin and fentanyl and like I did 2 drugs. I went to rehab. They tested me. I failed for 7. So like you don't know what you're doing anymore. Bath salts. It's not, you know, whatever. So like we have this responsibility to say, from the other side, it is worth it, and it's okay. And maybe you need to start a podcast. Maybe you need to start a group. Maybe you need to do something for yourself, for your recovery. Maybe it does take extra means these days. And, you know, that's why we fit in. That's why you guys are doing what you're doing. Bethany says the drugs today are not drugs I used over 10 years ago. Scary out there. The time for dabbling in drugs in like high school and college is over. You can't do that shit anymore because like it used to be if you had a pill and it had a marking on it and that's what that was. You look it up on the internet, fucking awesome. Now you don't know if that is pressed fentanyl. You just don't know. So like you have kids smoking weed and dying and like nobody understands why they're dead. It's horrible. Carrie, well, why I'm really struggling with that last name. Walkie. I was told in college, and I think it goes for most things, you are not the same person 6 months ago. I'm not the same person when we started this podcast till now. Like like we're all nuts. We just have to help each other through it. I don't want to hear how to be a fisherman from a fucking garbage man. I want a fisherman to tell me how to fish. And in recovery, we're looking around, especially early on, right? Will, like early in recovery, you're looking around like for anything to follow, to cling on to. Yeah, Will, you are far disconnected from Saskatchewan. What do you see different up there than what we deal with down here?
Well, I don't see anything up there. I'm not up there. No joking. No. I mean, it's I think, or it's a more tight knit community, or like more they know of each other. I don't know. It's
so. What are we assholes? We can't be cool down here. Like I don't.
No, we can't. Like I said, up here, down here is all about the money, all about the that's what makes the world here go them go around and around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Will, they if somebody's on maintenance or psych meds or whatever, they let them stay on that.
That's not allowed here. No.
Right, that's what I was saying. I was like, it's either medical.
We let diabetics take their insulin too.
Hell yeah, you should.
What is the difference?
Right. So I like listen.
Hey, common sense ain't so common,
No shit. No, it isn't. This is our friend Will. I met Will in treatment down here in Georgia, and we became friends and we stayed friends. But I met him in treatment, and that's that. And he'll be my friend forever. So like we and seriously, anybody that completes treatment and is feeling like the positive from that. Anybody that goes through that, they're changed. Like Jimmy, when you first got sober, like it was like the veil was lifted for me. It was, but it took a minute, and it took people who.
Well, it's not a one and done. It's a daily. The rent is due daily, and I got to keep paying it. How do I pay it? Like they say, work the steps and all that, but it's not that. Just be a better version of myself. And I learned that by going to treatment and listening to someone who was way smarter than me, which did not take a hell of a lot. And they cared. Larry, one of his comments was the look in people's eyes, that fire. And when people ask me to sponsor them, I look for that spark, and I don't do it nonchalantly because, hey, my time's I don't want to waste their time or mine. Yeah. But when they have that spark, it's like, oh, well, let's go, let's get her done,
Yeah.
And I believe in people giving them like the second, third, fourth chances. But sometimes you just reach that point. But look for that spark. And that you'll get that when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you want what somebody else has. And I got that fire lit under my ass when I was at Prairie Sky. So once again,
because Jimmy, you were sober for a long time, right? And
damn near 20 years. But I didn't.
Recovery.
No, well, yeah, I was sober, but when I was in recovery, no, it's same asshole, less dents in the car. But I didn't. It was all transactional, and what are you going to do for me? And I didn't want to I didn't want to deal with my feelings.
Yeah,
I didn't want to know the true me, and I had to really open up and be honest. I really became honest with myself sitting in that classroom for 8 hours a day. Yeah, it's hard work, but God, it was worth every single second. I would go back in a heart. And anybody, it's the money. Well, what's your life worth?
Yeah. Do you guys do like CBT? Like when you are dealing with a lunatic like Jimmy coming in all out of his mind?
Oh yeah, I am a lunatic.
What's just as in general, what's your approach? What's like your first, second, third steps with somebody like him?
Out the door.
I tend to focus a lot on DBT skills, just because there's a lot of radical acceptance and a lot of self-compassion. A lot of mindfulness, right, is really important. And we really we do a lot of narrative therapy too. So just kind of understanding the story of your life and being able to write that into a positively framed situation. So we kind of mix everything up and just try to see what people need, like what they're responding to.
Yeah.
Sounds like love to me.
Oh yeah. Angie said, "I'm grateful because a lot of my friends work for the treatment centers here and sober living places." Angie, so she's experienced the whole gamut of wherever she is, their system, their rehab, and the sober livings. We've all been there. We've all worked in sober livings or lived in them or whatever. Like it was a place where I was going to mess up. It was like, if I mess up, I don't have a bed, I'm getting kicked out. It's like all disciplinary. And it was just a ticking clock for me every time I was in that damn place. And, I found somebody who was going to relapse, and I relapsed with him. And it was like, I remember sitting there thinking, like, this is like fucking, this is designed for me to fuck up like this. It's unbelievable. And that's when I started taking matters. But that's what we say. We advocate. Yeah. Advocate for yourself. No, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. We just need a bald cat, right, Brad? So there's a lot of ways to do this, but like, we need you guys so badly. They've donated 2 hours of their time tonight to our program, to our people. I can tell you, I can see who's the amount of people that are watching, and there's a lot of people just stayed on because you're both very pretty, obviously, and smart. And we have Brad said, he has to leave. Thank you guys for everything. And we're going to let you guys go. But honestly, I would love to have you guys back on, maybe individually, like some point, just hear where you're at, what's going on. Yeah. We're getting to that point as a show where we're just making friends, and it's like, we don't have to get too formal about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'd love to have
another
you
road
guys...
trip for Brad and I. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Get up there, do your thing. Like we're gonna expand and do some things too. We're just seeing what happens. We owe you guys, we owe us, we owe our family members, and we found a way to give back in this way, and this fills a void for us. And that's, people have to do that stuff these days. Go extreme measures to find recovery. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on our show. They were unbelievable. And thank you to Prairie Sky for everything they do. Unbelievable thing going on up there, and it's a real privilege to watch it unfold. So, ladies, thank you so much for coming on our show. We'll see you guys soon, and take care. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good night.
They were great. Holy shit! Are we real? Are we doing this thing for real? Like,
I don't know, man. That was surreal. But what really hit home for me was their compassion. They're not there for the money, and there's not a lot of money in recovery. It's a family-run business, and Ardyth she had this dream, and it's coming to fruition. There's her granddaughter working there, like she's looking down from heaven. But you know what? Her legacy continues, and that's what the amazing part of recovery is. It continues. The cycle, as Larry had said before, breaking that intergenerational cycle of addiction and moving forward and recovering out loud, as Brad would say.
Facts on facts. I just, we have such good friends. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I feel like we're just all like-minded, fighting this thing together. God bless Prairie Sky for what they're doing. And whatever we can do to help. I mean, they sponsor us pretty much. Their logos everywhere. It's just a great thing going on. And here on the show, we're talking as a team. What can we do differently? What can we do better? We want people to know, people like Larry that are watching right now. If you think you have something to add to us, our nonsense, you just sign in. You guys all have the link. Whether you go on or not is whether I put you on or not. But everybody is welcome here. If you got something to say, come on in. Let's read our Just for Today.
In closing here on Talkin' Trash Podcast, we read an NA traditional reading called Just for Today.
All right. Just for today, June 24th, it is tolerance. Look at Big Willie. He's tolerating about as much as he can right there.
Just for today, tolerance. Ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Music Page 182, Tradition 12. Sometimes it's hard to accept others' character defects. As we recover together, we not only listen to others talk in meetings, we also watch how they walk through their recovery. The more we get to know other members, the more we become aware of how they live their lives. We may form opinions about how they work the program. We may find that certain members upset us, or we may even hear ourselves say, if it worked their program, I would surely use. We have found tolerance to be a principle that not only strengthens our recovery, but also our relationships with individuals who are a source of irritation to us. It becomes easier to accept other members' frailties when we remember that ourselves rarely turn over our own character defects until we become painfully aware of them.
Yeah.
Just for today, I will strive to accept others as they are. I will try not to judge others. I will focus on the principles of love and acceptance. I will not be a dick to the best of my ability. Amen.
Hard, easier said than done.
Oh, yeah.
The fans want to hear Will. They want to hear Will. I think we're going to have to do something coming up here. Tolerance. Yep, just for today. How much can you handle? And that's a lot of us.
I know, right? How much?
Right?
What? That's me all day.
Will left. Now Will's back.
I'm not back. I'm backstage.
No, you're not. You're fucking full screen, Will.
Oh my
God.
God.
So ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. All right, so Tyler. Anyway, just for today. All right, if you feel some type of way, dial 988, Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Narcan saves people's lives. Everyone has the power to save a life. You just need $39.99 to get Narcan off Amazon.
Everyone's a hero.
This Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Jennifer time. Jennifer Elizabeth McKeon will be back on here. We need her because there is some medical stuff I need some answers to. I want to know. Kratom, there's 7OH. There's all kinds of shit going on right now. And we gotta stay on target for that stuff. So Elizabeth McKeon this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Sunday.
What time?
Oh, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Jennifer Mansfield time.
No, she's 10 o'clock.
No, 10 o'clock. No,
10
she
o'clock.
is. It's 7:40 right now for her. She's
No, it's
an hour in
not.
front of me. Yes, it is.
No, she's ahead of you.
Oh, okay. I don't get it. Meeting, do that stuff. We'll see you guys
why
on
we
Sunday
need
with
the
Elizabeth McKeon. Any words of advice or just anything?
It was freaking amazing. I'm just, it's good to see Will.
It is good to see
We
Will.
love Will. Yes.
We're gonna do a show up soon here where we all share personal stuff. Jennifer says 11:39. All right, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Got it. I got it.
What'd you get? What'd you win?
Where Jennifer is and what's going on.
How many?
That's it. The fun with AI was fun.
Timmy.
I did these.
Tim.
Shut up. I did these while the show was going on. They were pretty
I can't
funny.
see anything 'cause I'm backstage.
Of course you can. Okay, right. Yep. Remove on stage. How about now, Will? Anything different?
No. Still backstage.
Get out of here. He's gone.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for comments. Yep. Love you all. Jimmy, thank you for all you do. You are doing a lot these days. We appreciate you.
No,
We'll see everybody.
love it.
Jimmy, we say thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. I love
Took
you.
that compliment, but I
Don't
love
go
you
changing
too.
and trying to please me. Yeah.